Let's host this website in a cloud and pay nothing for it. So to start, go to firebase.google.com. And then you can click Get Started or go to Console. Click Create a Project. And then name your project. We're going to name this Softbox Project 01. Click Continue. You can also add Google Analytics. If you choose to do so, click Continue. And then we'll ask you which Google Analytics account do you have or create a new one. We're not going to do that on this video, so I'm just going to click Previous. And then I'm going to turn this off and then create the project. This would take about a minute. And then click Continue from here. In terms of pricing, on the bottom left, you'll see the Spark plan. If you click Upgrade, you'll see both plans, the Spark and the Blaze. As you can see, the plan has no cost. And if you click Full Details, it will show you all the details that you need. And if you scroll down, look for Hosting. And over here, you'll see you have 10 gigs of storage, as well as 360 megabytes of data transfer. So for small traffic website, this is perfect. But if you do want to have more storage and higher traffic plan, you want to go to the Blaze plan, which will cost you less than $5 for 100 gig storage with 10 gigabyte of data transfer. So we're going to close this. On the left side, click Build, then Hosting. And then click Get Started. The first thing we need to do is to install the Firebase CLI on our machine. The instruction is the same on a Mac and a PC. I'm on a Mac. I'm going to open Terminal. First, you're going to need Node.js. And to check if your computer has Node.js, type npm --v. This will show you the version of your npm. If it comes back with an error, that means you don't have the Node Package Manager. Or if you want to upgrade to the latest version, go to nodejs.org and you'll see the latest version over here. Click to download and then install it. I'm going to go through the whole installation real quick. I'll fast forward this. Great, it has done the installation. We now have npm version 10.2.4. I'm going to close this and then move it to trash. Let's go back to terminal. Check the version again. Type npm --v and it should give you the latest version that you just installed. So now we're ready to install the Firebase tools. Copy this, go to terminal or command line on a PC, paste that, and it should install the Firebase tools. Depending on which macOS version you have, sometimes the Firebase CLI won't install properly. I have not run into this issue on a PC, but I'm on macOS Sonoma and I get these errors. So what you need to do is paste the command again, but put sudo at the beginning of the command, which basically means we'll install it with super user privileges. It will ask you for the admin password. Nothing will come up when you type it in and then hit enter. And then that should install properly. So now the Firebase tools are installed. We can click Next. Now we need to initialize the project. Basically what we need to do is connect our terminal with our Firebase project. So first we need to log in. So type Firebase --login on the terminal. And it's going to ask you if you want error reporting. You can click no or yes on that. Then it will open your browser to log into your Firebase account. Then it will ask you to allow Firebase CLI to connect to your Google account. Once connected, you can close this window and go back to terminal. I'm just going to clear this page by typing clear, and that should put our prompt on the very top. And then type Firebase --init. This will initialize Firebase. It says you're about to initialize your Firebase project in this directory. One thing I forgot to do is to change our working directory. You need to go to where your website files are. So for me, it's under Downloads. Press Ctrl C to get out from here. Then I'll change my directory. Type cd to change the directory, and then the folder name. And then inside Downloads, I have another folder called Firebase Site. I'm going to show you how this looks like. So if I open my Finder, here's my downloads folder and a Firebase site folder in it. And these are my website files. So if I open my index file, this is how our website is going to look. It's a small file with HTML, JavaScript, and CSS. Now let's go to terminal again, and then initialize the Firebase. This will ask us what features to set up. We want hosting, so use your arrow keys, and then select hosting by pressing the spacebar, and then hit enter. It will ask us what do you want as a public directory. So we're already on our directory. We just need to create a public folder. So type public over here and then hit enter. Configure as a single page app. If you put no, it will create a 404 HTML and any wrong URLs will go to your 404 page. If you put yes, all invalid website links will go to your homepage. Set up automatic builds and deploy with GitHub. We're not going to do that. Enter N for no. And then that's it. This will create a Firebase JSON file on our folder. So if we go to that folder, you can see that Firebase file there, as well as a public folder with its own index file in it. Now you want to put all your website files inside the public folder, except the Firebase JSON file. So I'm going to drag this whole thing over here and replace the index file that's already in the public folder. We'll include the assets and the CSS files as well. And now we are ready to do the next step, which is Firebase deploy. So go to your terminal and type Firebase deploy. By executing this command, this will upload all your website files into Firebase. Then it will give us our hosting URL, and it's our project name.web.app. So copy this whole thing, and then put it on the browser and you should see our website. And there it is. All the links should be working. The next thing we need to do is configure our Firebase site to our domain. And if you got this far in the video, please let me know by clicking the like button. So let's go back to our Firebase hosting. Click Continue to Console. This will give us our dashboard. Then you'll see Add a Custom Domain. So click that. And then enter your domain here. We're going to work with canadiansoutdoor.com. We're not going to check Redirect Canadians Outdoor. Instead, click Continue. And it will show us the DNS configuration that we need to set our domain. We need to add an A record so our domain ends up to the Firebase IP. And adding a text record is to prove that we own this domain. I'll show you how to set this up using Cloudflare, but the setup is exactly the same as other domain providers. So I'm going to select my domain and then click the DNS settings. So with other providers, whether it's a Google Domains, Pork Bun, or something else, always go to your DNS settings. I do have MX records here, but no A records. If you have any A record on your DNS records, that may be a conflict with Firebase settings. So you'll need to delete other A records before you can configure the Firebase one. So I'm going to copy this IP, then add a record on Cloudflare. Select type A. For the hostname, since this is for the root domain, put the @ symbol. Some domain providers might ask you to leave it blank. Then put the IP address from the Firebase settings. And then click Save. Then let's add the text record. So click Add Record here. Under Type, select TXT. Then let's go back to Firebase. Copy the value here. And then for the name, we'll just put the @ symbol again because it's for the root. And for contents, paste the value that we copied. Then click Save. I forgot to mention for TTL, leave it at auto, or sometimes it might ask for 3600 or 60 seconds. Now all we need to do is wait for that to propagate. So while we're waiting for that, let's go back to Firebase. We're going to close this for now. One of the things you need to always check is the usage tab. This will show us the estimated data consumption of our website. This will indicate if you need to upgrade to the paid Firebase plan. On the top right, you'll also see current billing period. You can adjust the period to view the data consumption per hour and up to a month. You'll also see view in usage and billing. This will show you the project quota so you know how much you have left from your free Spark plan. As mentioned earlier, you only have 10 GB per month from the free plan. You'll notice under our domains, we have 3 domains. The first 2 are automatically set up by Firebase, but still points to our website. The third one is what we've added, but it says needs setup. And it looks like the error is too many redirects. This usually happens with Cloudflare. So let's go back to Cloudflare and go to DNS records and edit the A record that we added. And we'll turn off the proxy temporarily just for verification and then click save. Then you just need to wait about 10 minutes to half hour for it to propagate. Do me a favor, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Once you have waited a few minutes and want to try verifying it again, let's click our domain, and our domain is now connected. This says minting certificate. This refers to our SSL or HTTPS. Sometimes that may not work properly when configuring it with Cloudflare. I'll show you how to fix that by going to Cloudflare. First, let's turn proxy back on. The proxy is important because it allows our website to be optimized and cached through Cloudflare, which helps our Firebase billing. This also protects our website from DDoS attacks. Once you've done that, click SSL, and under SSL encryption, make sure this is set to full. You don't need to save, it's automatically saved. Then wait a few minutes and it should give us our SSL. Now let's go back to Firebase and add the domain with www. So click add custom domain, type the www plus your domain, and this time we're going to check the redirect option, which we want to point to our main domain. This way, if someone types www.canadiansoutdoor.com, then it will automatically forward to canadiansoutdoors.com. Then we need to add a DNS record again. On this case, it will be a CNAME. So copy the value over here. Then let's go back to Cloudflare. Go to our DNS record. Let's add a record. And under type, you want to select CNAME. For the host name, put www and paste the value over here. You also want to turn off proxy for now, and we'll turn it back on later. Leave TTL for auto, and then click save. While we're waiting for that, I'll show you what to do if you want to view your website in a staging site before fully deploying it live to your domain. So let's open terminal. I'm just going to clear this, so I'm going to type clear. Then type Firebase space hosting colon channel colon deploy, then whatever staging name you want. This will create a separate staging URL that you can view on the web. It will give you a few warnings here, which are normal, but this is the website URL that you need to copy and put on a web browser. So I'm going to copy this and then open a browser and then paste that link, then hit enter, and there's our staging site. And once you're ready to put it live, go back to terminal, type Firebase space deploy again to push that staging site to your live website. We've waited a few minutes. We can now verify this, and it looks like it's successfully connected. The next thing we need to do is just go back to Cloudflare and turn that proxy back on. Now if we test this website, let's go back to Firebase, click our domain, and that seems to be working. And then this one still says missing certificate. I'm just going to refresh this page, and that should give us the proper status. And if we click that, it should automatically redirect to our main domain. Once you've outgrown this website and want to create a WordPress website instead, here's my video on that. Thanks for watching. If this was helpful, please let me know in the comments below or simply say thanks. Have a great day.